Hey, Junior Power Kids, it's Miss Dana. Welcome to the clubhouse. Today is a very exciting day. This is a special story just for you, the kindergartners. So it's an exciting day, kindergartners, because it is your last day here as a Junior Power Kid at church. That means, since you are going to be in first grade coming up this school year, that you are now going to be in first grade at church. So you are going to graduate from Junior Power Kids to be a big Power Kid. And we are so excited for you. Of course, we are going to miss you so much. Miss Dana and Sally Scooter and all your teachers are going to miss you so much, but you know where to find us, and you can always come and say hi whenever you want. So today, since it's your last day, we are going to do a special story just for you, where we are going to talk about the most important things that you've learned at all of your Junior Power Kids years. So, are you ready? If you're ready, clap your hands. All right, so of course, all of the things we're going to talk about today in our story are from my very favorite book called the Bible. Very good. And whose book is the Bible? God's book. That's right, you guys are so smart. And how many books are in the Bible? Let me hear it. 66. You guys are so smart, and we know that it's broken into two parts, the Old Testament and the New Testament. So our stories today actually have a little bit from the Old Testament and a little bit from the New. Alrighty? So, the very first thing we're going to talk about is that God made everything. If you remember, in the very beginning of the Bible, in the Old Testament, we know that in the beginning of the whole world, there was nothing except darkness and water and God. And he said, let there be light, and there was light. And then he took the next 6 days, and he made the whole world and everything in it. And then he took the seventh day and he rested. But the most important thing that he made, his most special creation, is you. God made people. He made me, he made you, he made everyone that you know or will ever know. And he did that because he loves you and he wants to be friends with you. So the very first thing, the very first two things that we learn is that God made us and that God loves us. All right, so we know that God made us and God loves us, and he made us to be friends with him, but there was a problem. And the problem was this: God is perfect. He's never done anything wrong. And we're not perfect. We're humans, and we make mistakes. We make wrong choices sometimes, and the Bible calls the wrong things that we do sometimes sin. And so since God is perfect and we're not, we couldn't be with him, and that made God super sad because he made us to be friends with him, right? And so don't worry, God's super smart, and he came up with a super smart plan. So he sent his one and only son named Jesus to the earth to save us. So Jesus was born a baby in a stinky stable. Remember that story? It's the Christmas story, right? And he didn't stay a baby. He grew up just like you do, just like you are right now. And when he became a man, he started his ministry where he would go around teaching people all about God and all about love and how we should love each other. And he did amazing things. Remember, he healed sick people. Yell out if you remember anything amazing that Jesus did. Good. He healed blind people, he calmed storms, he fed thousands of people with just a little bit of food. He did amazing things. But remember, some people didn't like him. But also remember, this was just part of God's plan. And so Jesus was arrested one night. So Roman soldiers came and arrested Jesus, and they treated him like he was a bad guy, even though we know he's the best guy, right? So they arrested him, and they whipped him, and they beat him, and they stuck that crown of thorns on his head. And then they did the saddest thing of all. They pounded nails into his wrists and his feet, and they nailed him to the cross like he was a criminal. So this is my picture of Jesus on a cross. So he went through a lot of pain for us. So he hung on that cross for, we think, 9 hours or maybe even longer, and then he died. Jesus actually died and was buried in a tomb. And everyone, all of his friends, were super sad. They didn't understand. But we remember that something amazing happened 3 days later. Let me hear you count. 1, 2, 3. 3 days later, Jesus rose from the dead, and he came back to life. Jesus was alive again. And guess what? Jesus is still alive today. And Jesus did all of this to be your friend. When he was hanging on that cross, he could have jumped down if he wanted to. He's amazing. He's Jesus, right? But he chose to stay on that cross for you and for me. Because when he stayed on that cross and died for us, it washed all of our sin away. If we choose to believe in him and love him and ask him to be our friend forever. Now, friends, Miss Dana asked Jesus to be my friend forever when I was even younger than you. I was 4 years old. That was a long time ago. I'm old, right? Yes, I know. So Jesus has been my best friend ever since. Even when I've made big mistakes in my life or even little mistakes, Jesus loved me anyways. He's always listened to my prayer. So if you haven't asked Jesus to be your friend forever, I want you to think about it, okay? And maybe talk to your parents about it or another family member or maybe even one of your teachers here at church. And they would love to help you with any questions that you have. So if you have asked Jesus to be your friend forever, pray to him. Make sure you're praying all the time. Make sure you're reading the Bible and learning more about him so you can be better and better friends with him. So these are the 3 things we've talked about so far. The 3 most important things that we've taught you here in your years at Junior Power Kids. That God made you, that God loves you, and that Jesus wants to be your friend forever. So now our question is this. What should you do with that? What do we do with that? Once we know all of these things, what do you think we should do about that? Well, I think that the best place to look is the Bible, right? And so we look in the Bible to find out all kinds of things, right? Because this is God's book for us so that we can know him and know the right way to live, right? So we can look in the book of Matthew, which is in the New Testament. And in the book of Matthew, Jesus says that you are the light of the world and that I am the light of the world. The people that believe in him are the light of the world. So what does that mean? Do you think that means that we should go around and shine lights in everybody's faces or something? What do you think that means? Yell it out. You guys are pretty smart. So if Jesus wants us to be the light, if he wants us to shine our light for other people, that means that people should know that we love Jesus by the way we act. So what do you think that means? Do you think that means that we should do whatever we want? Does that help people know that we love Jesus? Yell out what you think it means. You guys are pretty smart. Those are good ideas. So let's say if we want to shine our light for other people so that other people know that we love Jesus and then they can love Jesus too, then we should make good choices, right? We should be loving to people even if they're not loving to us, right? Sometimes people aren't going to be nice, but we should be kind anyways, right? What about following directions? Oh, that's a hard one, right? Who has a hard time following directions at home? Like maybe when mom or dad or grandma or grandpa tells us to go clean our room even, and we just don't want to. Well, if we want to shine our light for everybody to see, we should be following directions even if they're not really very much fun, right? So we should be kind, we should follow directions, we should obey, we should always be looking for ways to help other people. You guys are already so good at shining your light everywhere you go. And another way that you shine your light is you tell people about Jesus, right? You guys are the best at this. I tell you this all the time. You guys are so smart and so cute. People want to hear it from you. So you can tell people everywhere you go that God made them, God loves them, and that Jesus wants to be their friend forever. That is a great way to shine your light. So my kindergartners who are almost first graders, we are going to miss you so much. But we are so proud of you, and we love you, and we've had so much fun with you here in Junior Power Kids. You are now an official Power Kid, and we want to make sure that you know that God loves you. Well, God made you. God loves you. Jesus wants to be forever. Jesus wants to be your friend forever. So we want you to take that and we want you to shine your light everywhere you go so that people will know that you love Jesus and they will want to know Jesus too. See you later.